Good day and welcome to The Rerun. This is where we replay conversations that you might have missed and of interest or important to you. My name is John-Colin Namene, and in today's episode, the issue of sand mining has angered community members in the Oniipa constituency and surrounding areas after 10 children have reportedly died as a result of sandpits over the past 5 years. This morning, we spoke to Ondonga Traditional Authority spokesperson Frans Enkali and community member Reinherdt Kamati on the issue.
Informative, accurate, entertaining, current. Desert Radio, the bold voice.
This is a Desert Radio 105.6 in the northern parts of the country, and I'm assuming most of those who are listening on 105.6 FM will want to be very interested in this next discussion. This is from Oshikoto, Ondangwa, Ongwediva, Okahao, Tapio, Shikango, Okongo, Enana, Oshikuku and surrounding areas, of course. You can also listen to us on 103.3 Narandas in Swakopmund, Henties Bay and Walvis Bay. Then 107.2 in the northeastern part of the country. That's Rundu, Mashare, Nkurenkuru and Kaldum National Park. If you're listening to us on desertradio.fm, thank you so much for making some time for us, as well as those on our multi-choice platforms at DSTV channel 839 and GoTV channel 318. Now, there was a story that the Namibian gave to you last Friday, where early last year Theofilus Nghishidibwa, who was 12 years old rather, and his cousins left home to collect firewood one Thursday afternoon. Theophilus himself did not return. His family and neighbours started looking for him and found footprints at a sandpit not far from his home. The next day, the boy's body was discovered in one of the oldest sandpits at Ondando in the Oniipa constituency in the Oshikoto region. Now, the village has since been left reeling in shock. Theophilus's death is one of several in that area that has triggered Pastor Elifas, Haighumbi and community members to petition Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, Pohamba Shifeta, in February to ban sand mining activities. All in all, 10 children have died in sandpits over the past 5 years. But the question now begs, how can this be rectified? We are joined by the spokesperson of the Ondonga Traditional Authority, that's Frans Enkali on the line. And then we are also joined by a community member, that's Reinherdt Kamati, who does join us in studio. Mr. Kamati, to you.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Thank you so much for making some time for us. And Mr. Kamati, perhaps we'll start with you. This issue of sand mining, just how much damage has it caused to the community in the past couple of years?
Thank you, Colin, for having me. I think it's a sad situation, and for us, the community, we started quite a long time ago calling for serious sustainable land use in the Oniipa constituency, and also by default Oniipa town anyway, because it's within Oniipa constituency. And you will not believe hectares and hectares of land have been dug up, and a lot of this has nothing to do with development in the constituency or development in the town. It's people digging up and going to sell. And unfortunately, these people, what do? They dig the sand for building, and they go again for the gravel within the same pit. And you can imagine how deep such a pit will become, such that it will even become so dangerous for anything that falls in. You find it difficult to retrieve it. So as you alluded to, or you have seen in the news, and you have reported it, about 10 people have lost their life. And unfortunately, 2 of those just last year within the same area. And we have called on the minister, we have called on the traditional authority to do something about it. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten the answer. And in our last effort, we thank God for Oniipa Lutheran Church Parish that has also joined the cause to call. How can we deal with this issue amicably? There's no need for pointing finger anymore because people are dying. So we have called them, let's target those areas where people are drowning. We may not be able to rehabilitate the whole hectares of land because it's in many places, and sometimes it's more than 15 hectares. And it's all deep, so we have said, okay, let's face the issue.
Indeed.
The spots where children and animals are drowning, I think we can find a solution about it. Unfortunately, you saw it in the reply from the traditional authority. They're even telling us that we are making up stories.
And this is where I want to bring you in, Mr. Enkali. The Namibian did report that you questioned the sandpits death toll and accused the community of fabricating stories for political gain. How do you respond to that?
I have been listening to what the colleague was saying, and I do not know whether the problem is 10 people that have died, or is it the possibility of people to die there, or is it that the land, the sand is being sold. That's why the story is very complicated. And when I look at it, we don't have in our record somebody that died and was reported. And there's nothing. If somebody can produce, if you are a responsible citizen and you have seen something, you can even put it in writing and bring it to the traditional authority, so that then the traditional authority can address the issue of rehabilitation and how those issue of sand mining should be approached. So I don't want the community to base their listening on something that doesn't exist, and that I can still repeat. If he is a citizen of that area, then let them produce those names of the kids that have died there. Up to 10, we want them. Because we are also shocked that if we have a community where people are dying recklessly without them also reporting, they are also contributing to that effect. That's why I'm saying.
So, Mr. Enkali, just for me to come in there quickly, Mr. Kamati just said that they as a community have been reaching out to the ministry, have been reaching out to traditional authority. Are you saying that this did not happen? They did not reach out to you as community members?
My dear, we have even one of the community members currently dealing with those same issues. That is also from that grouping from Oniipa. Why don't they report it? If it is a true story, because Namibians, we like to paint everything that comes. If we have got egos or we have got some frustration, we want to bring that frustration to a level of leadership. But leadership of a traditional authority, there can be no traditional authority without a traditional community. And if our community is suffering that way that is being alleged, then we are also concerned. And the other concern goes that the responsibility to report those incidents lies with each and every community member. And they should report at the right authority or the right place, the people that can address the issue.
Mr. Kamati, did you and the fellow community members really go to the Ondonga Traditional Authority on this?
It's very, very, very sad for my respected elder Tatengari to come on air and make this kind of statement. Very, very sad.
Who did you go to at the authority?
My goodness, if Tatengari can go to his record, were they not called in 2021 by the minister to come and meet the community and they refused? Tate Kamanya, who was, I think he was one of the senior councillors, we wrote a letter to him in Oshivambo, and I can produce it to you. They didn't show up. And no audacity even to reply to us. Let me go to the record. Last year, and I can share with you a video. Maria, you have it on your newspaper there. She died, she fell in the pit in Ondando. Last year, another person died in Onihandi, in a pit within a local authority. And again, the Nghishidibwa you mentioned too. And again, some years, I think 3 or 4 years ago, that Inyafa's child died in Okambode. What is he talking about? We are not interested in pointing finger here. That's not what we are up here. People are dying. And what's the point to go to the traditional authority to report death? Aren't they, people die in the community, everyone hears the news. It's not our job. A person, when he dies in the community, the traditional authority is informed. Is he saying that the mourning and all these things takes place out of the vacuum? Tatengari, there's no need for us to point finger to each other. Even if it's only one person have died, is that not enough for you to act? I will share you with a video of a child who died even last year. The truth is that he's saying the land issue is complicated. We understand it's complicated. And why is it complicated? Is because they themselves are not doing what they are mandated to do by the law. The Traditional Authority Act mandates them on behalf of the minister for them to be the guardians of the environment of the area under their jurisdiction. They don't do that. Even if, in fact, they, within themselves, they are the one pillaging and destroying the environment. He can deny it, but they are. Some of the members, some of the leaders within the traditional authority, they are the ones digging these things. And we have said, Honorable Minister, what we want is just for us to make sure that the environment is rehabilitated and we prevent more death. The issue of who to blame, the minister knows. How did they get the license last time? Who challenged them? Why didn't they continue? It's because they know they didn't follow the law. So there's no need for Mr. Enkali to come on air and say, what is the interest for us to be picking on the traditional authority? There's nothing from our side.
That question still begs because the Namibian also here reporting that Oniipa constituency councillor, that's Vilo Nunyango, he also said that no incidents have been reported to him. Why are people in traditional authorities in constituency councillor positions saying that they have no reports of what the community is accusing them, or not accusing them of what the community is saying has happened?
You know, Colin, in our country here, we have gotten to a state where people can get away with lies. The same councillor, he was at the funeral for the last child who died. He was invited. The mayor for the town of Oniipa was invited. By the way, he's also probably new. He's not necessarily from that Oniipa town. He's just a councillor within a constituency. Some of these things happened before his term. Some of these deaths happened before his term. Look, we are talking about as far as 2008 when we started complaining this thing, and people are dying.
Mr. Enkali, so are you saying what Mr. Kamati is saying right here is just it's coming out of thin air? It's not true. There is no report going to the.
No. I'm not saying true or not true. He was supposed to be the one to verify that one. You have to authenticate it, and it's also very much concerned and said, as he is saying, to hear that one is relating to 2008, and you are saying as if you are talking as if something happened recently. And to me, I thought the issues that we are talking are issues that we can address now, issues that are happening now. If we want to address issues that happened in 2008, and you want Enkali to answer on that one on 2000, whoever was there cannot even answer to things that happened in 2008. And if that is the basis of our argument, I don't think it's worth to ask now the current situation, those people that are there, to talk about the old issues that have happened. So what I was also looking at, when he said they approach us, is 2001. 2001, and late Kamanya, my soul rest in peace, he died, I think, around January 2002. And now we are talking about somebody who died long ago and that the situation should be rectified. I know that the issue of calling the minister to come, but again, that Ondando area, we as Ondonga Traditional Authority, we never gave permission since then for people to mine sand from there. That's why I'm saying those are cooked up stories or stories of the people that really might be wanting to. So some people are fighting to get what they are wanting through convincing people the way they want to convince them. But I'm telling you, if we are to tell the truth as a nation, as a community, let's really talk to things that can be resolved. And let's talk also about the solution that we can come up with and resolve those problems. Because even the loss of one person, even the injury of a person is a concern to us. It's not to say that we do not care. Those are our children, those are our kids. If they are dying, those are our sisters, those are our brothers or our mothers or fathers. So one cannot say, I'm representing the traditional authority and I don't care if somebody can die. And I think the colleague have quoted me wrongly. I didn't say that the land issue is complicated. I was just saying that those issues of rehabilitation, they were complicated because they happened at the time when there were no proper maybe management. And that's why I'm saying, as currently as we are talking, we have a member of that community that is serving in the land issue. Not even me. They are there to monitor and report even to the police currently as we are talking. Now, if you are saying, or one is saying, Colin, that the traditional authority didn't do anything and it doesn't concern, I think there is no truth in that one. It's good to speak a lot of words, but the truth is there to be said. We have a member of that community in our grouping currently, even been recognized for that activity.
We are in conversation with the spokesperson of the Ondonga Traditional Authority, that's Frans Enkali, as well as community member, it's Reinherdt Kamati, speaking to us on the issue of sand mining and, while children in particular dying in the sand pits created by those sand minings. Now, Mr. Enkali, perhaps to you, is the Ondonga Traditional Authority aware of the death last year of Theofilus Nghishidibwa, the 12-year-old child that died while found in a sandpit as well? We have other members also that died a few years ago. I did mention them in the beginning, but that case last year of young Theophilus, is the Traditional Authority aware of that case?
If one is saying the traditional authority is very wide. And as he was also talking, there's also one part that is within Oniipa Town Council. And whatever falls under the Town Council, the traditional authority don't have the right to go and run those things within the Town Council boundaries. So it should be made clear whether it was within the commonage or it is within the town of Oniipa, or where did it happen exactly? Because even as we are speaking, we have got no power or right to give authority or the right for somebody to go and do sand mining in the town area. That doesn't exist. That's why I'm saying we have to separate things. If there is those issues, we want them, let them report them. And if it was not reported or it was reported, we can look at what went wrong for us not to act or what went wrong for people not to report. So that is what I'm saying. But
the question remains, Mr. Enkali, is the Traditional Authority aware of that death?
No, myself, I'm not aware of it.
Your response to that, Mr. Kamati?
Yeah, that tells you the reality and the situation you are living in, because for us, what we want is solution to the problem. Because we have dealt with these people already. We have exhausted all the means. We have reached to their offices. We have called them so that we can reach an amicable solutions. And it seems like that's not going to help us. That's why we wrote to the minister. If we can reach an amicable solutions to just the spots where people are drowning. If you are told that people are not even aware of death that are circulating on the social media, that's quite very strange. And where even their traditional leaders have attended those funerals, they were there, they're invited, it's quite strange. So people are dying. There's no point for us to continue debating. Let's address the solutions. And the solution here is...
Let's do that. Mr. Enkali, there's now a problem being brought to you here now on air. Whether you heard about it or not before, Mr. Kamati is bringing it to you now. What would be the solutions around this, around the activity of sand mining and these deep pits that are being called by the community as essentially death traps for their children?
Yes, Colin, as I was saying, there are two areas here that we have to separate: Town Council and Ondonga Traditional Authority. And if it is within our area of jurisdiction, after the minister was called that year 2021, that thing have been rectified. We have gone to the Environmental Commission with an environmental plan for the area of Maparara and not Ondando. We are not even currently involved in any mining activity that is taking place at Ondando. That is not through the authorization of Ondonga Traditional Authority. That is what I'm saying. Because sometimes people are just seeing individuals doing things and then they think it's Ondonga Traditional Authority that is doing it. Us, we were only having one pit in that area of Maparara. And then, as the activity were going on, there was a time that those activists, they came to us and they reported that, no, it seems it is not being done well. We ran there, we rushed to that area, the chairperson of the traditional authority, myself and other traditional councillors. And then we say, stop sand mining, rectify these issues, try to rehabilitate this before you continue. We give the right for you to continue sand mining. That's why I'm saying, those who approached us that time, we have attended to it, and we are having authorization through the ministry, the same ministry that one is talking about. Where we are, we have the authority. And once we want, we have to approach the Environmental Commission again for another right to continue with sand mining where it can be done. That is all I can say.
So essentially what you're saying, Mr. Enkali, is that within the domain of what the traditional authority does control, everything has been fixed. There is no problem anymore.
Where we are, there was no report even of water being there, and somebody had fallen in that one. Where at Maparara, where now sand mining is taking place. That I can assure you 100%.
Mr. Kamati.
It's Colin, I think the Maparara issue, it's a way to run away from the problem. If Tatengare knows from Okamwandi, from Onanjoko Hospital, there is a tract of land that has been sand mined there, and that's where people are dying. The last child that died there, and it's within their jurisdictions. What did they do about it? And that's why we are saying, let's go there and correct that place. At least we may not be able to cover the whole area. Just to cover where the pits are too deep and the animal and the people are dying there. There is one that is within the town council. Of course, the town council must do their job. We are not saying they must go and do the town council's job. But the one they ran away from on that also, it's not done. And the compliance order are on them. They have not carried out. Why are you only running to Maparara? We know Maparara issues. And they are doing that because you know that the minister told them that there will be no license for them if they don't correct these things. But that's not the only issue. There are many pits within Oniipa town, Oniipa constituencies that are falling under the traditional authority. And the issue is not that, okay, it's not reported to us.
But has that been reported to them?
They know. These things are happening. If it's happening under the village, what's the job of the headman? It's for him to say, what are you doing here? If this thing has been stopped, what are you doing here? Or where is your certificate? It's not just to say it's not us, we don't have, it's not our pit, but you are mandated through the Traditional Authority Act to be the guardians on behalf of the ministers, to watch out people who are violating the environment. So there are many areas. And you know what dismaying is that? In the same constituencies, you have sandpit for sand mining, for building, gravel road. What do you expect? This whole constituency will be like littered with all pits. What is your planning? Where are we going to cultivate? Where will our future children grow their food or their houses? Why can't they go to some other areas? So that's why the whole thing, we want it to be addressed holistically. And in some cases, some of these pits are left out by contractors who were given to mine either the gravel for the road. But then the traditional authority is supposed to say, okay, put this place in order so that it does not become hazardous. Or after the contractor is gone, other people don't come and now get into that pit. The other solution we are suggesting is that they must not allow someone to mine sand from the same pit and again follow up with gravel in the same pit. Because if the pit was 2 meters deep, now it will become 9 meters deep. Because after you are finished sand, you go for gravel. And that's why some of these pits are becoming dangerous. So our call is for us to sit together. Unfortunately, there are beneficiaries in these things, and people don't want to come to the table. But we believe the minister will hear our call because people are dying. For us is to stop the death. As we speak now, there's a child I think the child was walking near the pit, and the sand crumbled on that child. Luckily, there were other children, and they pulled out that child. That child, up to now, as we are speaking, is mentally disturbed. Luckily that there were other children. Of course, they say they don't know these incidents. And the community saw, what else? Who else will hear us? Can the commissioner hear us? Can the minister hear us? Let's face the issue. Let's address the issue. Let's address the sand pit issue. Let's have a strategic program in place how we will deal with sand mining. And at least, can you leave Oniipa or Oniipa constituency for a while and go to other areas? Because, come on, we are not the only area.
We are joined by the spokesperson of the Ondonga Traditional Authority, that's Frans Enkali, as well as community member Reinherdt Kamati. We're speaking about the issue of sand pits and their dangers as deaths have been reported of children over the past couple of years in those areas. Now, Ministry spokesperson, this is the Ministry of Environment spokesperson, Romeo Mayunda, speaking to the Namibian, said that the ministry has received a number of reports of unrehabilitated sand pits and has learned about the deaths in the Oniipa area through the media. He said that the ministry has visited a number of unrehabilitated pits and has issued legal compliance orders to most, ordering a halt to mining activities as well as rehabilitation of the pits, and saying that the ministry has stopped activities at most pits. But Mayunda also said the biggest challenge in rehabilitating pits is the availability of funds. Did you receive this feedback from the ministry, Mr. Kamati?
Yeah, we saw it in the news also. Unfortunately, that's what we are also disappointed. You write to the minister and you don't get official correspondence. Even just to say, a letter to say, okay, I've delegated so-and-so or who and who to come and do these things. They just issue. But there is a formal complaint or a formal correspondence. So, of course, we read it in the media. It's understandable. But if we join hands, there will be probably Samaritans in the Namibian country, in our country, that will come to our aid to say we can do this and we can think about how we deal with the solution. We are not saying that the ministry has all the resources. There will probably good Samaritans in Namibia who will help us to be able, together with the ministry and together with the traditional authority and the community that is affected, so that we can reach an amicable solution, how we can address some of this pit. You know, the danger of this sand pit is that when a pit is started in an area, it also incentivizes those who are looking for quick money to sell their field. So you find that the pit will even become bigger and beyond what was told the community. So it's, in other words, how do we also stop the incentive of people extending this pit beyond what was original planned for?
We have to shut down our conversation shortly. Mr. Enkali, I'll give you your final words. There's clearly a community that's not happy with the traditional authority right now. There's a disconnect of some sort. How do you, as the OTA, now move forward, knowing that this situation is here?
Yeah, no, the way forward, I just wanted to say, let us also come up with the truth that reflect that our concern towards the whole Namibian community. Because if I am saying, let's move the things out of Oniipa to other area, do we want to migrate death to the other area? That's why I'm saying that to me is not a solution. If it is a real issue, let's just address it wherever it is taking place, not only at Oniipa. And what I was also referring to is that those old things, that's why I was saying it's a rehabilitation. It's currently the environmental plan stipulate everything that needs to be done. What type of sand have to be excavated? And once we reach to that gravel, then if the right was not given, they are also informed that you cannot mine that one. It's once found, they also get punished and be denied a right to to mine that sand anymore. But the community should also just know that it's not through conflict between community and the traditional authority that will solve problems. That will be the good relationship that will help us to come together on the table on the basis of evidence that is on the ground and evidence that can be seen, evidence that have been seen, and the future also, because we have to make it that sure that in future nobody should die through the same incidents. That's my word. That Ondonga Traditional Authority care about any single person that is injured, as I said, that might die because of that. But the issue is, let's report the issue timely in the manner that it has to be reported. Then the problem will be solved.
Mr. Kamati, I'll give you about 30 seconds.
Thank you, Corin, for giving me the chance. I think we appreciate you helping us to get our voice out there. And surely there will be no community that just out of the blue want a conflict with the traditional authority, because living together in peace is what community wants. But if there are problems that are affecting us, we will call upon to those we believe that they should give us, help us and hear our voice. And our desire is that really just this year we should address this issue of sand mining holistically. We should address those pits where people are drowning. And it's probably going to not take too much of the resources that people are thinking about. It just takes us to work together. And I think it's not our desire that people should go to other area, but definitely too, we don't want people to concentrate on our area as if we are the only place where you can mine sand. There are other places in Namibia you can do so. And let's do that equally.
Mr. Kamati, Mr. Enkali, we thank you so much for making some time for us.
Thank you for having me.
And that does conclude the show. Thank you so much for making some time for us. It's been a heated discussion, really, that we've had on air.
Informative, accurate, entertaining, current. Desert Radio, the bold voice.
That was today's episode of The Rerun. Catch us tomorrow again, same time, same place. Good afternoon.
Yo, this is Shikololo Ekondobolo la Darome Kololonga Shikapalo Shipangelo.
Yeah, this is a yellow solar, you see? Right on the place representing, you know.
This One Star Exile representing.
Yo, this is Rashama, and you're listening to Desert Radio 95.3.
Hola. That's what's up.